welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a peaceful, good, energetic week. I am just sitting here with my tea. A few days ago, I came back from Madrid. I included some of that footage at the intro of the video, but I just went on a little girls' trip with my friends, and it was so nice. They live in Geneva, and obviously I live in London, so we don't get to see each other that often. Like we can't just like go on a walk together or go for coffee. So we have to go on trips together. And it was just really nice. Like we had a great time. We went to the club, we saw the sights. I spent an entire day in bed hungover. That's fine. It happens to the best of us. And it was a really fun time. We talked about like a lot of deep topics, and just spending time with other girls as a woman is the most beautiful thing that you can do. You just feel so what's the word? In French, there's an expression called se ressourcer, which means like going back to the source to get energy kind of thing. And that's how I felt. So it was a great time. It was really good. But now I'm back, and I took a few days to just like decompress. So I'm posting this video a little bit later, but I think I'm going to start posting on Saturdays instead of on Wednesdays because I think it works better. But yeah, so basically I'm back. I have so many cozy hobbies that I have in mind. I finished this morning Convenience Store Woman, which I've been wanting to read for years. That's one tick off of my physical TBR. You guys, I had a little update on my physical TBR. I had 40-ish books, like 42, I think 43 at the beginning of the year that I had to read, and now I am down to 24. This week I am going to read The Luminaries, or I'm going to start reading the Luminaries. I have some updates to my Hobonichi planner that I want to do because I do my journaling in there as well. So I want to do a February recap, even though it's like halfway through March. Oops. But I want to do a February recap because I haven't done that. And I have to update my book journal and then do my March spread, even though, again, it's halfway through March. But it feels weird being on garden leave because I have way less structure in my life right now. So my life feels a little bit more chaotic than it usually is. And I often forget to journal. I often forget to do things that like otherwise I would be doing very regularly on my during my normal routine. So yeah, and that's okay. I'm happy to not have structure right now. It's the first time in a very long time, like since I was a teenager, that I don't have any structure, and I'm honestly kind of grateful for it. I'm embracing the chaos that comes with not having a 9 to 5 job, or not having a 9 to 5 job that I have to go to. And that's okay. That's completely okay. But I am going to be doing some cozy hobbies. I also have an art project that I won't be mentioning now, just in case I don't do it. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. A little, like, very mini review of Convenience Store Woman. I really enjoyed it. I think translated Japanese novels, the reason why I like them so much is that they're clearly translated without translating idioms and sayings that are very common in Japanese but don't exist in English, for example. So at some point she's talking about, or the main character is talking about, I believe, reheating something, but she's instead saying heat treating, which is not something I've ever heard in English. Also, like, English is not my first language, so it could be something that exists, but like is more obscure and I've just never heard it. But I love that. I love that the writing is always a little bit off because it's not supposed to be read in English or in any other language. It's supposed to be read in Japanese. I think it adds to the charm of Japanese contemporary fiction. And so it was really interesting. I love the story. I think it's obviously it's meant to make you uncomfortable because it's talking about this woman who seems like she has sociopathic tendencies, in the sense that like she doesn't know how to fit in to the world without like the identity of being a convenience store worker. And so she navigates that throughout the novel. And I think the ending, I think, is really interesting. I don't know. It's almost like a little bit off-putting to the point where it's like, is this kind of a horror book? Question mark? But that's such a stretch because it really isn't. It's more just like her story and not being able to fit into the world and not being accepted for who she is. But also, there's some things that you hear from inside her head that make her sound like a sociopath, but it's just because of how she is. Like, she's not doing anything wrong. She's not hurting anyone, but it's just how she is. And it's because I feel like I'm so entrenched in society that this makes me uncomfortable, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I really enjoyed it. It was a short book. I'm happy to have read it this morning and yesterday. And now I'm excited to get into The Luminaries. I know there's another book. This is The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. There's another book that is called The Luminaries that I think is a fantasy series, and it's pretty popular right now, but that's not what I'm reading. I'm reading this. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I have planned for this week. I think I'm going to start with updating my planner just because I'm the most excited about that. I'm going to show you guys some stickers, and then I have some ideas already about like what I want to do for my wrap-up page for February. But yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a cozy day. It's disgusting outside, like absolutely disgusting. And the wind is insane. So I think it's the perfect time to just like sit and do some cozy hobbies, light a candle, and then make a little tea. I am drinking. So my friend, this is so sweet. My friend got me this set of teas for my recovery after my laparoscopy in January. And this one is a ashwagandha, ginseng, and cocoa tea. And yeah, it's very good. So that's it. I'll see you in a second. So I wanted to go through essentially what I'm doing on this page and I guess the other pages in this footage. But essentially, I've been journaling really consistently this year, and I think it's really due to how simple my approach is. And as you'll see, I'm putting like a bullet journal page on top of an existing page to add more structure and also to have just like a neutral background. And I'm doing a February recap page. I'm like halfway through the month of March, but it doesn't matter. And so essentially I'm just taking some pictures of the month and I'm putting them on the page along with some stickers, and then I'm going to be writing basically like a note or a little recap on the month of February. I've been loving doing this because it doesn't take much time. Like it takes probably like 30 minutes on a Saturday or, you know, whenever you're doing this. And it's nice to reflect on the month and to see, you know, what was your favorite movie? What was your favorite book? Are there poems that stuck out, or, you know, something that someone said that stuck out to you? And the month of February for me was really special because it was the month that I started my YouTube channel, so I included that in. I'm also really loving just gathering little things from different places that I've been throughout the month to include that in my monthly wrap-up. So for example, this Jane Austen figure that I'm putting in there I got from the Jane Austen Museum in Bath. And then I also have, you'll see like the yellow paper that I'm cutting up right now is the brochure to the play that I went to go see. And I think it helps me be more in the moment and engage with the activities that I'm doing a lot more than just, you know, taking a picture on my phone. So yeah, I've been trying to be a little bit more analog when it comes to that. So in this video, I'm also filling out my February favorites and highlights page. So in the monthly spreads, I always have a favorite book, movie, show, workout, and then highlights of the month. So now I'm just filling those out. I think it helps me reflect in a very simple way. There's no crazy admin on this, and it helps me actually do it every single month. The fact that it's so easy to do. And then it sets me up to be excited to set up the next month. So that's what I'm doing now. I am finally halfway through March setting up the month of March. And the way that I do it is that I redo the same columns on the left, and then everything else I just add like stickers that represent the month. And because it's the beginning of spring, I'm adding some oranges and greens. Obviously green has to be in March. And yeah, I'm just adding some accents, some stickers, and I think it helps me stay excited about like little everyday whimsies, you know? Also updating my book journal. So one of the ways that I've been really consistent in journaling is that my book journal for the first time is not overly complicated. All I do is essentially create an analog version of Goodreads with absolutely no text whatsoever. At least so far, I don't think I'll be adding any text. And so I basically just print out the pictures of the covers of the books that I've read, and I print those out on my sticker printer, which is a mini HP Sprocket. It's amazing. I just print it out, cut out the pieces, and stick them right onto the little journal. And then at the end, what I'll do is that, well, I'm taking out the framings right now because I don't want it to look like, I don't want to see the frame that I drew beforehand, but and then I stick those on and I put little ratings, and those are all coming from my Goodreads. I'm trying to migrate over to Fable, but I'm finding it kind of difficult just because not many people are on there. And my favorite thing about Goodreads is that I can interact with my friends and know what they're reading, and I think it's really fun. So if you want to have a more ethical online reading platform, I would highly recommend jumping over to Fable, but I also understand if not enough people are on there yet. So that's how it looks like so far. Okay, little check-in. I just finished doing a couple of things. I updated my Hobonichi planner, which is also my journal, and I started this little creative venture. It's a gift that I've been thinking about for so long to give to my brother and my sister-in-law. They have two cats, Gaspard and Marguerite, and can you tell I'm from a French family? And they always call Gaspar gazpacho. So, and Marguerite sounds really close to margarita. I mean, it's the name for margarita, but in French. So I figured I figured it would be cute to make like these little prints, like you know the prints that have like the recipe for a certain meal or cocktails on the side, but then there's like a big picture of the meal that people like put up on their wall. I'm gonna put a couple of pictures just to so you can see what I'm talking about. To like make that, but with margarita and gazpacho. And I like how margarita came out. I think so. Marguerite is a calico cat, so I feel like I'm going to be able to do like some defining features, like add some of her defining features to her tail. And then you're going to just have Marguerite on top. I don't think I'm going to add the ingredients. I think I'm just gonna do the print. I don't think I'm gonna have the ingredient like the recipe. But yeah, and then there's like a little margarita glass, and I'm gonna fill it in when I actually paint it. And then this little gazpacho drawing. So this, I'm happy with how margarita turned out. Gazpacho, however, it's like I don't own a cat because what the hell is that? That's supposed to be like his profile, like with his tongue out a little bit. Obviously, I'm like those Renaissance painters because what the fuck, that is not a cat. But I tried my best, and obviously, I am gonna change it for when I actually paint it. But this was just the base, and I wanted to get those bases out so that on a sunny day when it's not freezing and super rainy and windy, I can go out on my balcony and actually paint it. Okay, that is pretty much it. I think I'm just gonna chill, probably play with Camille, and I will catch you guys later. I ended up ending my night with a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3, which is my favorite RPG to play right now. I felt a little bit overwhelmed because I'm constantly informed. You know, I'm a lawyer, I was a political science major, I am constantly watching and reading the news. And because of that, I think these cozy hobbies are really necessary to recalibrate the brain, to be able to have my activism thrive without a chance of burnout. So I will leave you guys there. Thank you so much for watching this video, for subscribing if you're subscribed. I honestly am so grateful for how fast this channel has been growing. I've been loving it. Making videos has always been part of my life, and I sort of abandoned that when I became an adult. So I'm very glad that I'm starting again. I feel so inspired and motivated, and I hope that you do too. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.